Even if you will not take care of your parents while they are still alive, do not forget to give them a befitting burial when they die. This is Positive Mindset. My name is Blessing. If this is your first time coming across this channel, please subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, you're welcome. So I heard the story where a lady vowed not to have anything to do with her parents anymore. That the only thing she owes them is to give them a befitting burial according to their traditions. If not, she will not have anything to do with them again. And what was her reason? That when she was still very much younger, her parents gave her out to her aunt and the husband, who maltreated her, treated her differently from the way they treated their children. That each time she remembers what she experienced while she was living with her aunt, the only people she can vent her anger on are her parents. Because they made that decision for her. When I heard the story, I felt so heartbroken. And I came to the conclusion that she needs help. Yes, she needs help. Because for someone to make such a wicked decision towards her own parents, it means she really experienced a lot. And I know that there are wicked people. Yeah, there are people who are wicked, who are capable of just anything. But the reason I concluded that she needs help is because she might be acting out of ignorance. Yes, she needs someone that will talk sense into her head. She needs someone that will change her mindset, someone that will change her thinking and make her say things differently. She needs a therapist. That is what she needs. See, let me tell you, there is no right-thinking parent that will wish their children suffer. The wish of every parent is for their children to be bigger. I mean, in terms of achievement, they want their children to be better. They want their children to be healthier. They want their children to live longer than them. That is the wish of every parent. And in the process of making you a better version of who they are, they might make mistakes. They might do it wrongly. But the thing you should focus on is their intentions. That is what you should consider. Why did they do what they did? Why are they doing what they are doing now? You should consider that. Because they want the best for you. They don't want you to live a life far below the life they are living now. And in the process of giving you that better life, they might make mistakes. Your parents must have given you out because they wanted a better life for you. And as at that time, they knew they would not be able to give you that life. They felt giving you out to live with your aunt was the best decision for you at that time. They made a decision they felt would turn out to be the best for you. But unfortunately, they trusted the wrong set of people. You were so unfortunate to have a wicked aunt who never cared about the good wishes of your parents towards you. And her husband did not help matters. So your parents did not make that decision because they were tired of you. They did not make that decision because they wanted to do away with you. You are just being angry at your parents unnecessarily. And trust me, they don't deserve this ill treatment you are giving to them. And I know that so many people are in similar situation. They are angry at their parents for one reason or the other, and because of that, they cut communication. They stopped paying attention. They now give their parents very little or no care. They cannot speak out because they don't want people to have a negative opinion about them. They don't want people to see them in a bad light. Some hardly even remember that they have parents. They only get to remember their parents when it is festive period. When they are celebrating Christmas and New Year, that is when they send something home for their parents. That is when they remember that their parents will eat. So you get to feed your parents once in a year simply because you are angry with them. Simply because they offended you some time ago, and now the only way you can pay them back is to turn your back on them, waiting for when they will die so that you will do the needful according to tradition. Let me ask you this. The money you send home for Christmas and New Year celebration that will sustain your parents for 1 year, if you were to spend that money to meet your needs, will it be enough for you for 1 week? Can that money meet your needs for 1 week? And then you send that money home, you turn your back for another 1 year. How unreasonable can you be? The same people who brought you to this life. If your parents were to tell you the sacrifices they made for you, you will know that nothing you do for them in this life that is too much. Okay, I know you will say that you did not ask to be born, but then they gave birth to you. And they were responsible for you. They took care of your needs. They gave you the best they could afford. And now you are living a good life. You are made. Things are going on well for you. You can feed yourself and even feed other people. You help people around you. They call you a good person. You are a philanthropist. You are a helper to some people. When some people get to meet you, they know that their problems are solved because you will help them. But the same help you give to people, your parents are lacking that help back home. Your parents need that help, but they can't get it from you. Because they offended you some time ago, and the only way you can pay them back, the only way you can prove to them that you are angry, is to turn your back on them. They now get to speak of you like you are no longer in existence. They speak of you as one child they have somewhere that does not exist anymore. They get to remember you in their imaginations. They get to see you in their imaginations because you are angry. Because they did something you were not happy with and you are still not happy with. No matter how good you are to other people, if your parents cannot speak well of you, if you cannot replicate that good in the lives of your parents, then you are just a pretender, trying to show off to people that you are better than them. Because there is no way you can be kind-hearted and you are kind to other people, but not your parents, the same people who brought you to this life. I know that You might say that you have other siblings who are taking care of your parents' needs. You don't have to capitalize on that. Contribute your quota. Your own role is left for you to play, not for other people to play. Don't capitalize on what your siblings are doing for your parents. They are your priority. It should matter to you what you are doing for them, how you are reciprocating that care, because at some point in life, you depended on them. You were their responsibility. And now that they depend on you, you have to reciprocate that care. You have to reciprocate the attention. You cannot run away from it, because someday you will regret all what you are doing now. There's this popular podcaster that said that those parents who depend on their children have entitlement mentality. When I heard it, I was like, what? Your parents depending on you have an entitlement mentality? How? I just assumed that he must have said that to get more reactions on his video, because the more the reactions he gets, the more the pay he will get. That was what I assumed. But then, if that was why he said so, that was so unreasonable of him. Because so many people are gullible. They feed off from everything they get from the internet. They don't want to know whether you just said it for the views or for the reactions. They don't want to know whether you said it maybe to be popular. So many people are gullible, and you don't know so many people you must have led astray by that statement. I don't want to mention his name because it is not necessary. But if he actually meant what he said, then it means that he has no regards for anybody, not even his parents. The only people he has regards for are people that he benefits from. Because for somebody to say that about his parents, that his parents depending on him, means that they have entitlement mentality. Who says that about their parents? If your parents are well-to-do, fine. There are some parents who are more financially stable than their children. What I have seen in such a case is that those parents will help their children to take care of their grandchildren. That is what I have seen. And it is not out of place. If your parents are capable of taking care of your children, why not? But if your parents depend on you, and you feel they depending on you means they have entitlement mentality, then you need to check yourself. Something is wrong. That your parents depend on you doesn't mean they have entitlement mentality. I am speaking generally now. What it means is that it is your turn to take care of them. When you were a baby and when you still depended on them, they took care of you. They may not have given you the best, but they gave you what they could afford at their time. They gave you what they could give you within their power. So it is your turn to reciprocate that care. You offended them growing up, but they never stopped taking care of you. They never stopped seeing you as their responsibility. Now they are aging. They depend on you to reciprocate the care. They are now your babies. And you should not deny them of that care simply because they offended you. You have to forgive them. Just as you know that when they die, you cannot run away from burying them. You should see it as a responsibility to take care of them, a responsibility you cannot run away from. I don't know where people find the peace, knowing that when their parents were alive, they never cared for them. They turned their back on them. Some because they were angry at their parents for one reason or the other. But when they died, because you cannot run away from tradition, you buried your parents in a grand style. You organized a big party, fed a large crowd of people. People applauded you for giving your parents a befitting burial. How do you get to live at peace with yourself? Where is your conscience? If your parents are still alive and you have the money, mark their birthdays. Make them happy. Organize birthday parties for them. Because the one you will do for them when they die, you are not doing it for them. You are doing it for other people. You cannot love the dead. You cannot take care of the dead. You can only do those things when the people are still alive. So it should matter to you what your parents eat, how they get to feed on a daily basis. Not the large crowd you will feed when they die, all in the name of burial ceremony. It should matter to you where your parents lay their head on every night. Not the beautiful or expensive caskets you will lay them in when they die. Now that your parents are still alive, give them the opportunity to appreciate you. Because whatever you do when they die, you are not doing it for them. You are doing it for people. Thanks for your time.